The following segment is sponsored by Smith Injury Law and 300hurt.com.
Welcome back. Prior to quarantine status, when most of us had to commute to work and traffic was heavy, there was an automobile collision every 3.7 minutes, according to South Carolina Department of Public Safety. Even though collisions aren't as common right now, they're always stressful, especially when there's an injury. Last month, we sat down with Richard Smith of Smith Injury Law to get some advice on what to do if you're hurt in an accident. Car and truck accidents, obviously just one area your practice handles. Talk to us really quickly. What else do you handle at Smith Injury Law?
Well, workers' compensation cases, Social Security disability claims, and also car and truck accidents in both South Carolina and North Carolina. I'm licensed in both states.
And because of your work and your daily commute, you're especially aware of how prevalent car accidents are, and you keep an eye on traffic reports. You told me this last week.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did a great job. Chris does on your morning show, showing where all the accidents are, because sometimes if I'm going 85 every day from Spartanburg to Greenville and I see a big accident on 85, I'm going to go the other way, because it's very important to avoid those kind of accidents if you can. So you do a great service to the community with that show, I think.
Well, I loved that it makes a difference in your day. We certainly hope it does.
Definitely does.
What do you want people to know and be sure that they keep in mind if they are involved in an auto accident?
Well, the first thing is, obviously, make sure that you're okay and call 911 if you have an injury, but also take pictures. Don't move the vehicle, and be careful about getting out of the vehicle if you're in the road. I've had some really bad claims where people have gotten out of the vehicle while their vehicle is still on the highway, and then another accident happens right after that. And there's been people off the road who've been hurt very severely because they're off the road, they think, and then somebody comes over the hill too fast and hits their vehicle off the road.
And the situation gets even worse from there.
Had a case one time where somebody was helping somebody change a tire on the side of the road and got hurt very badly.
Yep, you never know what's going to happen out there. Not getting into an accident in the first place is obviously the best case scenario. You're a big advocate of defensive driving. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely, especially when you have rain. We have a lot of rain coming tomorrow, possibly. You have to drive a speed that is safe in the conditions. That's why they have the charge of driving too fast for conditions. It's not just the speed limit. If it's a foot of rain on the road, you may have to slow down. And also, you don't want to be tailgating somebody in front of you, and make sure you have good tires on your cars, because if you have slick tread, you can't stop and you hydroplane. I've seen several hydroplane accidents recently that are very severe. So just have to slow down. I know sometimes it's tough. You're trying to get to work, you're in a big hurry, but a little bit less time on the road, take a little bit more time to relax, can avoid a very serious accident.
Absolutely. And if you can remind yourself that getting to work a couple minutes, by driving quickly is going to be a bad situation. If it ends up in an accident or speeding ticket, you'll be happy to have slowed down a little bit.
Absolutely. You can never assume the other person is going to drive safely either, because that's a big problem we have. People driving too fast for conditions and going through intersections. I always slow down when going through an intersection, because I don't always trust that person who's going to stop at the red light. They won't always do that.
Predict the other driver's going to do something stupid, and it'll take you a long way.
Absolutely.
You authored a book, 10 Critical Mistakes to Avoid If You're Injured in a Car Wreck. What was your goal in writing it?
Just to help people with what I've learned over the years. A lot of that stuff in the book is somewhat common sense, but it's also some interesting information about insurance, about what type of insurance to get, about how to deal with a bad accident once you're in an accident, the medical providers you need to go to, how to negotiate your medical bills down. A lot of those things you really can't do without an attorney. That's why it's important to get a good local attorney who understands automobile accidents, has been practicing law like I have for 30 years in South Carolina and North Carolina, and there's almost nothing I haven't seen. So if you're in a bad accident, call us.
And this book covers chapters: failure to seek or failure to preserve evidence, like we talked about off the top, taking pictures, get that medical treatment in a timely manner, negotiate with insurance. I mean, it's all there. It's a very handy book, and anybody watching this book can request it from you. There's a lot of information inside that's very valuable. The number on the screen is 300-HURT to get in touch with Smith Injury Law. Anything else we can cover this morning?
That's the main thing, and obviously if you're involved in an accident, you need to seek medical care immediately, and always know that if you wait too long, the insurance company can try to say that the accident didn't cause an injury. And a lot of times people are just trying to, okay, I'm trying to recover. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Maybe I'll be okay. What I've learned over the years, usually it's the second and the third day after the accident that you're much worse, especially if it's not a broken bone, but it's just a very severe sore muscle, a extension flexion injury, something of that nature. You don't want to wait too long to get checked out by a doctor. Then the insurance companies will start claiming that you were not injured when you actually were injured. Main thing is to remember that the insurance company does not work for you. Their job is to pay you the least amount they can and to save their customers money, not to take care of your injuries caused by somebody else's fault. We're not talking about, a situation where it's a no-fault situation. We're talking about somebody else drove too fast, they ran a red light, they were drinking and driving, they were distracted, something happened causing them to cause an accident and to cause injuries to you, both physically and also your property damage. Very bad.
And the other thing, you told me one week that the insurance company will often try to get a recorded statement from you, pretty quickly. You don't want to give that recorded statement if you don't have an attorney present.
Absolutely, because what happens is, it's an old trick if you've seen a lot of these old legal shows where they'll ask you to how long did it take you before you saw the car in front of you or something, and they'll be timing it. People don't realize how time goes. Time is very fast. If you said 20 seconds, that's a lot of time in an actual car accident. So, and how far away were you when you first saw the car? All these kind of questions you don't really know the answer to. And if you try to guess, it can be used against you. They can deny your claim because you didn't know the answer and you just guessed at the question. So don't be put in that situation. You don't have to give a recorded statement. Perfect. If you do have one, make sure that you have a lawyer who can talk to you first and make sure you say the right thing. It's not necessarily oftentimes what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of times people guess, and when you guess, it really hurts your case.
Some great advice from Richard Smith there, and we will be talking again with him soon. He does want viewers to know he's working from home and he is still very available to help you if you need it. You can reach Richard Smith by calling 300-HURT or visit 300hurt.com.